This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, friends. Welcome to goonlinetrainings.com. So, yesterday we discussed about Coiley's function and E is null and how to concatenate null values and all these things we discussed. Let us discuss a few more things today. One more function we have that is null if. E is null is something different and null if is something different. So, what is the meaning of this? It returns a null value if the two specified expressions are equal. Returns a null value if the two specified expressions are equal, else gets the first value. Okay, else gets the first value. Let us understand what is the meaning of this. So let me quickly go to SQL Server. I say iBank and it is saying null if, right? So that is the function name, null if. If two values are similar, for example, 4 comma 4 I am supplying, it will take two values. If they are same, you are able to get the answer is null. So that is what is the thing. Okay. So as a result, if the first value, second value is the same, then you will be able to get null. For example, I have -4 and here also I have a -4. Okay. If both of them are equal, then you will be able to get null. If they are not equal, for example, if I have 10 here and if I have 8 here, okay, and if they are not equal, you will be able to get the first value. The first value is 10. Okay. For example, I have 8 here and I have a 10 there, and both of them are not equal, and you will be able to get the first value. What is the first value? 8. So that will be taken. So null if can be used like this. Okay, if both of them are equal, what will happen? You will be able to get the null. If both of them are equal, you will be able to get the null. If it is not equal, then you will be able to get the first value. Clear? So let me show you where exactly we can use it. Select account ID, comma name, comma C balance. Now I wanted to understand where C balance and U balance is the same. Clear? If it is the same, I wanted to get null, else I need to get the first value. Clear? So I'll say null if and I have unclear balance as balance. Something like this from the account master table. Let me execute it. Wherever it is matching, you will be able to see the null values. Sometimes we need to compare two values. If it is matching, I want to find those values. Okay. If it is not matching, you will be able to get the first value. So Sandhya and Ashok and Hema, in these places it is matching, and remaining places this C balance and U balance did not match. Clear? If it is matching, then get the null. If it is not matching, get the first value. Clear? You can also write C balance here, comma U balance. You check these values. Okay. If it is not equal, then you will get the first value. If it is equal, so here null, so it is null. It is also null here, it is null. But in some cases, this is equal, right? If it is equal, you will be able to get null. If it is equal, you will be able to get null. So this is not equal, you will be able to get the first value. Clear? So these are equal, you will be able to get the nulls. Am I clear? If these are equal, you should be able to get the null. If it not equal, then you will be able to get the first value. This is what is called null if. Okay. So there is a people would ask you what is the difference between is null and null if. Is null means if there is a null value there, you are going to be putting a constant value instead of showing the null there. So null if returns a null value if the two specified expressions or columns are equal, else gets the first value. So this is the, it will give you a null because both of them are equal. It will give you the first value. The answer is 4 in this case. Clear? So there is an interview question asked. Since you don't know variables and everything, you will not be able to answer. But let me give you this question. Just make a note of this. You can answer this later. So there is a declare a variable. What is variable and all we'll discuss later. It is a bit and it is storing a null value. Declare one more variable called integer, which is having a null value. Declare one more variable, it is a numeric. Numeric means decimal values, okay? 18.2. So it is going to store 4.5512. So they asked select coalesce variable 1 comma variable 2 comma variable 3. This is null and this is null, and if everything is null, so this is having a value. So what happens in the coalesce function? Here the issue is that it is having a bit and null. It is having integer and null. It is having numeric. So if you have different data type values, what will you get it? So that is the question. Okay, what will you get it? That is the question. And select is null in a variable 1 and variable 3. If it is null, what will you get it? Because variable 1 is a bit and it is this. So according to is null, if you have something is null, you will be able to get this value, whatever you give. If you give 0, you will get 0. But if you get V3, V3 value has to get. But the question is here, it is a numeric value, it is a bit value, right? So if you provide, if it is a null value, and will it give you complete value? Since it is a bit value, is there any cast and convert function will be applicable, applied or not? And the second is null. So here we're talking about V2 is integer and V3 is again numeric. Since it is null, so will you get a complete value or it is only the integer value you will get it? Is there any, convert function, a cast function applied or not, or automatically will it, typecast the values or not? That is the question. So since you don't know the variables and everything, you may not be able to answer this now, but definitely this will discuss in the later. Let me, okay. So later we'll definitely will discuss this. This is very, very good interview question. Recently asked to one of our student. So is null and coalesce. Now, apart from that, we have lot of string functions. Okay, we have upper, lower, left, right, length, reverse, L trim, R trim, substring, replace, stuff, space, concat. Concat we discussed, and coalesce also we discussed, right? So char index, pat index, string aggregate. These are the string functions available. So we had seen mathematical functions, right? Aggregations, count star. So all these things we had seen average, min, max. We had also seen in date and time functions. So get date, date diff, and we discussed about a lot of other functions also, right? Date diff, date part, date name, date add. Those functions we had seen end of the month. Okay, so those are called date and time functions. And now we have one more function, that is string functions. Okay, I will give you one previous class video. Please watch this video and complete string functions without fail. Clear? So probably tomorrow, day after tomorrow, whenever you get time, you watch these functions, which are very, very easy. Okay, I have created very detailed video on it. I'll give you that video. Just watch that video and make a note of all these functions, how to use them. And I had also given few assignments on char index, pat index stuff, substring and everything. You please watch it and take the notes. Clear? So I wanted to go further and let us understand what is a between operator. List the names of the customers whose balance between 10,000 and 50,000. So select name from account master table where balance between 10,000 and 50,000. When I execute this, you will be able to see select star from the account master table and where C balance between 10,000 and you should not say 2. 2 will not work. You need to write and 50,000. So that is the syntax. So you will get 10,000 and 50,000 and in between values also. Okay. So if you have 10,000, so that value is this, right? 10,000. And if you have 50,000, so that is also taken. Let me execute update account master. Set C balance equals to 50,000, where account ID is equivalent to, let us say, 102. Let us execute this. Now you're able to get 50,000 value also. Have you seen this? And you're able to get 10,000 and in between values. People may ask you, people may ask you this question. If I include between operator, will it have lower limit and upper limit and in between values? The answer is yes. So it is equivalent to lesser than or equals to and greater than or equals to. Clear? Between operator will give you lower limit value, upper limit value, and in between values. Clear? And the syntax is like this. Syntax is like this. This is a between operator which is equivalent to lesser than equals to and greater than or equals to. Am I clear? So this is very, very important. Am I clear? So let me give you one more question and list the names of the customers who opened accounts between 2010 to 2012. Clear? If you need only the year number, you must write a date part function. You must write a date part function. So date part YYDOO, you will be able to get the year number that between 2010 to 2012. Let me write this. So C balance between, not C balance, it is date part, let us say YYY and DOO. Okay. Between 2010 or 2011 to, let us say, 2015, something like this. Let us have it, or 2020. I wanted to give between this to this, I would like to get the date. Clear? So when you execute it, you are able to get the data. Let me give as a year number. Okay, let me execute this. Now see, you will be able to get a 2011 values and a 2020 records. You can also put D over there. Okay, you should be able to put DOO 2020 records and 2011 records and 2018 in between values. 2011, 2020 and in between values also you should be able to get it. 2011 is there, 2020 is there, and in between 13, 12, whatever you have, that will be there. So between operator includes lower limit, upper limit, and in between values. This is very, very important thing that you must understand. Now, if you know programming, since many people wanted to come to IT industry, but they don't know what is a programming. Programming means you must know C language or any language like C, VB language, Visual Basic, Java or C++ or .NET. Python, any one of the language you should know. Okay, so many people are not going to learn any programming, but they wanted to come to IT industry. If they wanted to come to IT industry, normally you need to start some tool. So you're going to learn data analytics or Power BI or MSBA. So these are having little programming, not a heavy programming when you compare with C or C++, Java, .NET. Clear? But no tool will be there without a program. Remember that. So even though people will say tools are having no code, but at least 20 to 30% programming will be there. So data science, data, all these tools, ETL tools, reporting tools, Power BI, MSBI, Tableau, any tool you learn, at least 20 to 30%, programming will be there. Clear. So if you learn a C language, so you will be able to learn how to declare a variable, and they'll teach you how to use if and else, how to use loops, how to use arrays, how to use pointers, how to use structures. So a lot of things are available in the programming. But since we are not learning programming, so we are just started with the RDBMS, right? So RDBMS also you should know some programming. So without programming, you will not be able to retrieve, or you will not be able to process the data. Complex processing cannot be done. Clear? So programming is very, very important. If you know programming, there is a if and else statements are available. If something is true, you do like this. If else, you do like that. Clear? So that's what is the programming. But in SQL is not a programming at all. It is a simple, structured query language to insert the data, retrieve the data. Then we are learning queries. So if and else is not available. If the if and else is not available, so instead of if and else in SQL, we can use case statement. Clear? So if and else is part of programming. When you learn C or C++, Java, .NET, people would teach you if something is true, this is the action you should do it. If and else, if and else, if else, something like that. Okay. So in SQL, we do not have if and else. Instead of if and else, we have a case statement. So you can have a star, select star or column one, column two, comma, case, this starting, and the case you need to end. When something is true, then you do like this. If something is true, you do like this, else you do like this, and as Elias. Clear? Let me give you one simple example. So I wanted to say this is what is my data, right? Account ID, name, and C balance. I wanted to write a case statement. Let me get the things like this. Case you need to always put like this case, and always you need to end. This is a case starting, this is case ending. Now after that you say when C balance is lesser than 10,000, then the customer is a silver customer. If this is a true, this is an expression. If this is a true, then this is going to be displayed. Okay, when C balance between 10,000 and let us say 50,000. Okay, 50,000. Then what I wanted to have, then the customer is a gold customer. Else the customer is, let us say, diamond customer. Clear? If something is true, then the customer is silver customer. Then something is this one, then the customer is gold customer. When something is this, then the customer is this. So this will create a one column. It's going to create a column. So this is a gold customer. Why is balance is between this? Is a diamond, is a silver. So I can give as alias, it is a customer type. You can say column name, you can have customer type. So let me execute this. So this is the complete query. What is happened? It is going to give you, it is going to give you one more column. The column value is this. Clear? So this, if something is true, you will get something. If something is true, you will be able to see like this. Clear? So he's a silver customer, he's a gold customer, is this. So nothing is important. For example, if you don't write the else clause, will it work? Yeah, it is going to work. There is no problem at all. So nothing is important here. So if the so else whatever else is doing that is missing, right? So else block is missing. So we are not getting any values here. Clear? We are not getting any values here. So nothing is important. If you remove this also no problem. So only for this it is going to work. Okay, for only this case it is going to work. Remaining cases it is not going to see anything there, but you don't get any errors there. Am I clear? So here nothing is important. That is what is you should understand. So what is this? It is a alias. Alias, as is not a compulsory thing. Without as also it is going to work. So there is no problem at all. It is working fine. Sometimes alias also will be given like this. People will write like this is equivalent to. Okay. So what is this equivalent to? This is alias. This is one more way of writing alias. For example, I'll say select count star from account to master. You will be able to see a count. So I give a alias as count, CNT. It is going to work. We know that. But you can, if you remove this, will it work? Yeah. So as is not compulsory. So if I remove this and you can also place like this. You can also say C and T is equivalent to. So this is also alias. You can also give like this. Okay. Now you can also say number of customers, right? So what is this and equals to? This is alias. This is one more way of giving it. So now see 64 number of customers. So you can give alias like this. You can also give alias like this. Am I clear? So sometimes you will be able to see like this. People will write like this. Okay. Customer type equals to case, and you will be able to see and. Clear? So what is this? This is an alias, and this is what is called a column. It depends upon this expression. It is going to be giving you the data. Clear? So case is equivalent to if and else in programming languages. Now let me give you some more examples. So this is the example we discussed. Now I have a table like one Ravi, Lata, Suryaka, male, female, male, and female. So I wanted to give employee ID. Employee name is equivalent to case when gender equals to M, then the name must be prefixed with Mr. So Mr. Ravi, else it has to be prefixed with Miss Lata. So Mr. Ravi, Miss Lata, Mr. Surya, Miss Kavya. This is how you are going to get the full name or employee name with titles and everything. Clear? So how can you get the title? Title can be given with the help of the case statement. Okay, what is the column name? The column name is employee name. If the gender equals to male, and you are going to be concatenating. This is concatenation, right? And this is a string, a constant value. Name is the column name. Name is what? Column name. So it will take Ravi and it will add Mr. because it is M. And for the next row, what will happen? It will take, if it is true, then Lata, it is going to add Miss Lata. Okay. So execution always row by row, row by row, row by row. It will take one row, and if see the gender equals to male, then it will take Ravi, add Mr. to Ravi. And it will go to the next row. It is a female. Female means it will go to else block, and Lata will get added with Miss. Clear? MS. So this is how you can use case statements in all your uh, you know SQL queries. Am I clear? So case is very important one, and null if and all these things is null. and between operator, date and time functions, and typecast functions. And we discussed about string functions, okay, queries functions. All these things are very, very important, and compulsorily you must do these things without fail. Clear? Yesterday I was talking about case studies, right? So we had a couple of case studies, and we had a school case study, supplier and Indian bank case study. I strongly recommend, okay, I strongly recommend guys to start with the case studies, because if you don't practice, yesterday I told you, right, only listening is not a learning. I told you yesterday clearly, if you listen and you think that that is what is my learning, that is stupidity. Listening the class or attending the class and doing and seeing and understanding, that is what is called learning. Clear? You open school case study. When you open school case study, we had created a couple of exercises. So this is the case study I had given it. So I think you might be having these case studies with the tables and everything, and you inject more and more data so that you can write all these queries, right? So using the above tables layouts as schema, write T-SQL statements for the below requirements. So list the course-wise total number of students enrolled. Provide the information only for the students of foreign origin and only if the total exceed 5. List the names of the students who have not enrolled for a Java course. So a lot of queries are available. So now see this. This is a case statement. List name, number of enrollments, and popularity for all courses. Popularity has to be displayed as high, and if the number of enrollment is higher than 50, this is a case statement, right? So you have lot many queries are available. So you have 13 queries are available. So list the course-wise total number of enrollments in the current month. Clear? So like that, we have lot of data available. So let me give a 20. Okay, you can change the some data. Okay, list the names of the courses for which no student has enrolled in the month of May 2020. Clear? So total we have, in school case study, how many queries we have? We have 13 queries. Later, when you come down, we have a stored procedure that we'll discuss once the stored procedures are over. Clear? And this is the case study that you need to work on. So remember, you need to practice this. If you know queries means, you need to start doing this. It will take a lot of time. Okay, you don't underestimate that I can do everything in a one day. No, you will not be able to do it. It will take a lot of time. Daily take one or two queries, not more than that. Okay, understand what is the requirement first clearly. Understand what is the requirement clearly, then try to see the data. So we have created a school, right? So you try to see the data and try to understand whether do we need to use joins or do we need to use anything else. Okay, do we need to use group by clause, order by clause, or in a sorting? So what is that we should use it? You try to get the algorithm. So the logic is called as algorithm, right? You get the algorithm and try to implement and give me your answers. For example, if you write a query, then you should be able to copy the query. For example, this is the query you have written, and you copy this. This is not the query, but you copy and put it here. So this is the query and this is the answer. Clear? So you go and click. So this is the answer. So this is the query and this is the answer you have written. So like that, you can have it. And if you wanted to create a box, you can create the outside borders. So this is the answer. Then go and here also you can copy and paste something. So second query also writing, and go here and switch off and go and give the outside borders, so that neatly you will be able to create your solution and send me this document once it is done. Clear? So this is a query and this is your answer. This is a query, this is your answer. It could be right or wrong, but make sure that you're validating the data. So whatever the data that you're getting as an output, you make sure. So you write a query, you get some data, right? You do the unit testing. You clearly verify whether everything is properly coming or not, appearing not, because validation is very, very important. I told you, right? Unit testing. After preparing coffee, will you taste it before giving to the guest, or will you serve as, as it is? So once you prepare coffee, you're going to be tasting it. You're going to be checking everything is properly there or not. If not, then you need to uh, make it ready and serve the coffee, right? So like that, before you submit, and make sure that you at least check it properly. And if you don't understand, then we'll discuss. But definitely, each and every query will take a lot of time, guys. So definitely, you need to do these queries without fail. Clear? And that is the first case study I'm talking about. Second case study, then once it is done, then open the supplier case study. Now in this also we have I think we have created a supplier database, and uh, these are the tables we have created, and these are the queries. Select statement means queries. So list the month wise average supply of parts supplied by blah blah blah. You do this as well. Clear? So here we have only 15 queries, no stored procedures, but you can also do this. And when you practice them, then only you know that, or I know that you people are learning SQL queries. If you don't do these case studies, if you don't do anything, simply attending videos and watching videos 24 by 7 will not give you any knowledge. I had seen many students only watching video morning to evening. They don't practice at all. Clear? Practice simple things, you practice them. Okay. I had given you employee exercises. Have you seen this? Have you practiced? Only one or two guys sent me. Only one or two guys sent me the answers. So this is a table I have created, and I have given this data, and I asked you to find out number of employees, find out number of employees in Chennai city, find out number of employees in Chennai and Hyderabad city. I had given couple of queries. Only few people have attempted, not everybody. Clear? So if you don't attempt anything, then definitely you will not be able to achieve. Clear? So you can watch the video, write the notes. That is the first point. You need to have proper notes. You need to maintain notebooks and everything. Then second point is that you need to practice all the cases. Okay. And this is a big project that I I had given. Indian Bank, it is not a case study, which is a bigger project. Okay. So once you do that, then we're going to be doing with this case study. Am I clear? So this is having a couple of tables, and we are having a business integrity rules. This we can do it later. But when you come down, view requirements, when you come down, you have query requirements. Clear? Page number 6, I think. Page number 6. It is page number 5, right? Page number 6, you have query requirements. Write all these queries. Okay, so total we had 25 queries. Then we have again a stored procedure, and which is a big case study or the project that we need to implement it. And please work on this case study as well. Clear, guys? So if you don't practice, then it is waste of time, energy, and watch all the queries videos once again. And what is a group by clause? What is join? Right? How to apply, and try to understand. And first you do with the supply school, then the supplier, and last I bank. Clear? If you don't take it today, if you don't start today, then definitely you are not going to, complete this case study at all. Clear? So each query will take a lot of time, I'm telling you. It will take maximum 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours also to get the answer. It is not so easy because first time you're learning it. So swimming, cycling, did you learn everything in one hour or 2 hours? Cycling is just very simple thing, right? Swimming is also simple thing. But can you learn in a one day or one week? No, you need to keep on practicing, keep on practicing. So queries also cannot be learned in one day or 1 week. Clear? You need to practice because you need to get a lot of, thinking has to be, there first. The logical thinking has to start. Clear? So take those projects and please work on them without fail. Otherwise, there is no point, right? Only attending the class and doing, no exercises you're doing. Clear, guys? So everybody, Sambashiva Reddy, Ravina, Priyanko, Simret, Sirisha, Stanley, Shiva, everybody has to practice. David, Nitish, everybody. Clear, guys? So these are very, very important things that you must practice, guys. Okay. Now,
So for the case statement you mentioned, how
mhm,
often do you use the case statement?
very heavily in the production, you are going to be using every day, every code, every stored procedure. When you open it, you will find this
Yeah, stored procedure, but in just the general query?
everywhere, everywhere you can,
Okay.
everywhere. Okay. So now we had completed joins and we have four more, things: subqueries and correlation subqueries. Clear? And that is a topic that we're going to be discussing now. And then we have a derived tables. Almost we came to the end. Clear? So in another 3 to 4 days time, we'll complete the queries part. And the queries is, a major portion in your SQL. Okay. If you know queries very well, then remaining topics like store procedures, functions, triggers, those are very, very simple topics. Topic wise, not very much, not very big topics. Queries are, I think 10 or 12 classes we are having it, right? But if you don't practice them, then definitely you will be the loser. Okay. If you don't know queries means you don't know nothing. Creating table, dropping table, inserting data, deleting data. If you do only that, you're nothing. Only 2% of the RDBMS or SQL you know. Creating table, dropping table is not at all important task. Clear? What is important task is retrieving the data is very, very important thing. And much more time when you join the company, they don't ask you to create tables and insert the data. They will give you a ready-made tables which are already available. They ask you to write queries only. Let us start with subqueries. So joins, subqueries, all these are advanced queries. Okay. Till grouping, that is basic queries. Now we're in advanced queries. Let us understand what is a subquery. Subquery, it is also called as a nested query or inner query. So I wanted to understand who has the highest balance in the bank. Okay. Who has the highest balance in the bank? Okay. So this is the query. So I stop recording it. I stop recording it. You take some time and try to get the answer. Okay. Without using subquery. You don't know what is a subquery, right? Forget about subquery. At least try to get the answer. Whatever already you know so far, whatever the things already you know, using that you should be able to find out the answer. Who has the highest balance in the bank? You try to do that and then we'll discuss subquery and I'll switch off the recording. I'll wait for your answers. Okay. A query can be written in different ways. A query can be written in 50 different ways. That is an article posted in Google. So many people will write queries in different ways. Okay. So there is no only one solution. You can have different solution to each and every query. You can write any one solution. You can take any one solution and try to complete this. I will wait for it and give me your answer.
This conference will now be recorded.
This is the query we had, we were discussing. Who has the highest balance in the bank? Okay. For example, if I take a simple table like this, so the table name is account master table. A is having $10 billion, B is having $20 billion, and C is having $30 billion, and D is having $40 billion. I wanted to know who's the guy who's having highest balance. Clear? So you people have given some queries. Let me tell you, if I am the person, what is that I do? Okay. So this is my table. So who has having highest balance? Some people will write like this: max of C balance from the account master table. So if I execute, I'm getting the highest balance. But the query, it is not what is the highest balance. It is who has the highest balance. I need the name. Clear? So this query will not work at all. So you need the name. So this query will give you only what? What is the highest balance? You need the name. If you wanted to include the name, and you can have the name, but will it work? No, apart from aggregate function, whatever be the column that has to be there in the group by clause. Otherwise, this will not work. Okay, so you need to write group by clause. Group by name you need to include because I name and the maximum balance. But when you execute it, you are getting complete data. 64 rows are given. So this is a nonsense. Okay. So this query cannot give you any data at all. So this is a wrong query or invalid query. So this is invalid. Okay. Only if you write a statement like this. This is also a wrong query. Why? Because this will give you maximum balance. Okay. This is also invalid query. Clear? This is also invalid query. This is not going to work. This is also invalid query because you're not getting who has the highest balance. According to this, D is having highest balance. Now, some people have tried like this. It is very simple. Select account ID, comma name, comma C balance. You take star or a couple of columns. You can put star also there. There is no problem. And what they are doing, they are sorting the data. That is a beautiful thing that they have done it. Order by what? C balance descending. So what will happen? It will go to the table, it will sort the data and display the data in the descending order. So this guy is having much more balance. This guy is having much more balance. I wanted to get the top one guy. Okay, you may say top one because this guy is having a much more balance. You should be able to put a top one, and if you need only the name, then you can remove everything. All these things can be removed. So who's having highest balance means Kajal is having highest balance. Now, if you apply the query on this, now you're able to get it. D is having highest balance. You have sorted the data on this and getting top one. But unfortunately, this is also invalid. Why this is invalid? If you have only one guy, you can get it because tomorrow this guy is also having same balance. Clear? What would be your answer? You're supposed to get a B and a D. But since you put one, you will be able to get only one guy, but you supposed to get two guys. But what you do? You put two. You put two. But when you put two, this guy has withdrawn some amount, it will become two now. Clear? Now again, you will be able to, you will get two now, but unfortunately we had only one guy. Clear? So when you put two, you may be having one. When you put, one, you may be having two or more than two. So you don't have any control because this query will get executed every now and then, and the data will also will get changed, right? So you don't know what to give here. Should I give top one, top two, top three, or sometimes everybody will have the same balance. Now you're supposed to get three guys. So how do you know now whether to write one or two or three or four? You don't know what to write. So this is also invalid query. Okay. You cannot say top n. What is the n? How can you think now? Because you need to write the query today and give it to the bank. So whenever you click on the query, it has to give me these are the people who are having highest balance. So according to now, three people have to be displayed. But if you say top one, one guy. If you say top three, three guys. If you say top two, you will get two guys, but you may be having one guy, 10 guys, 20 guys, millions of guys. So this query looks like correct, but it is invalid query. Clear? So this is also invalid query. And let me write like this. One more way. Select star from account master where C balance is equivalent to max of C balance. Will it work like this? So people will try different ways. So select star from account to master where C balance equals to max of C balance. Will it work? So this is also will not work. Where clause should not have an aggregate functions. So this is also invalid query. So however you write, you will be able to get issues only. Even though it is giving the data, even though it is giving the data, this is also invalid query. So if you clearly understand in this query has two queries. Who has the highest balance in the bank? Okay, this query has two queries. This query has two queries. Now let me take my data to this one, and the table name is called account master table. Now the query has two queries. If you see carefully, what is that? What is the max balance? And the second query, who has it? If you see carefully, see this. Who has the highest balance in the bank? If you read this query, it is not a single query at all. So this query itself is having two inner queries. So first you need to find out what is the max balance. The second query, who has it? Now you know how to write what is the max balance. So how to write? Select max of C balance from the account master table. So when you execute it, and it will take 10, 20, 30, 40. What is the max balance? Max balance is 40. So your output will be 40, right? Now you don't need 40. You need wherever you're having 40, get the name. So who has it? So you write a query like this: select name from which table? Account master table, where C balance is equivalent to, open the bracket, put this query there and close the bracket. Okay, so select max of this one. So what will happen? This query will get executed and it will give you 40, and wherever C balance equals to 40, so this will get substituted. Wherever C balance equals to 40, get the name. See if C balance equals to 40, it is able to get 40. Now this is how you can get it. Clear? So this query is called as a subquery, inner query. Now let me write this. Clear? So it is having two queries. You need to write query by query. First, you write the subquery. Who has the maximum balance? That you need to find out. So this query will get executed first. Okay. Then it will substitute 40 there. It will substitute 40 there. Wherever C balance equals to 40, you may be having 40 also here. Wherever C balance equals to 40, you get the names. You will be able to get B and D. You may be having 40 here, so you will be able to get anything. Tomorrow, it may be having 50. So what will happen? Again, you will be able to get 50. Wherever C balance equals to 50, get the name. So this one you are dynamically getting. So what is that? Select max of C balance. Now in this query, this is what is called outer query, and this is what is called inner query or subquery. Clear? So which query will get executed first? Will it execute this? No. SQL Server is always executing subquery first. Remember this. So then outer query will get executed. So what is a subquery? Subquery means a query in the where clause. A query in the where clause is called as a subquery. Subquery will get executed first on the data. Then what is the maximum balance? Maximum balance is 50. 50 will get substituted there. That's it. So then you will see wherever the maximum balance is 50, get me the names, or you can also put star. Anything is fine. So you will be able to get A and 50. If you tomorrow, if you're having 50 here, so wherever the balance equals to 50, get those names A and C, you will be able to get it. So this is a beautiful way that you can get it. Otherwise, this query you will not be able to achieve with the help of a max or order by this one, that one, however you wanted to try without writing a subquery. Without writing a subquery, you will not be able to write this. So first you need to find out what is the maximum balance. Okay, right? So write like this. So it will give you what is the maximum balance, that is this, but you don't need, you need the name. You can say select name from account master table where column name C balance is equivalent to, open the bracket, and at the end you need to close the bracket and execute the complete query. Now I am having Kajal. Have you seen this? Now what is the balance here? The Kajal balance is this much. She is only one girl having. Okay. So let me take this data and try to update it to somebody else. Set C balance is equivalent to this much. Control C and Control V. For one more account ID, we will give 102 also. Okay. Now, when you execute it, what is the maximum balance? This is the maximum balance. But how many people are having when you execute? Now, two guys. Now you see, you can have star also here. So wherever we have Simrat and Kajal, two people are having same balance. Have you seen this? Tomorrow I can give it to 10, let us say 7. 107, one more uh, customer also having the same balance. Let me execute. The maximum balance only this, but how many people are having this? 3 people. If you need the name, you can put the name. So simply what will happen? This will get executed first. So this data, copy this data, this will get substituted in this. It will get removed. This will get substituted. Wherever C balance equals to this, get those names. Very simple. Clear? So you can have star also there. So this is the complete data we have. But wherever the C balance equals to this, get this data. Clear? So this is how the subquery will work. So always a subquery will get executed first, and the result set is substituted in this. Now outer query will get executed later. So execution is always bottom to top. Remember this point forever. So this is how the query you need to write. So this will get executed first, and it is going to put the data in this, then outer query will get executed. So what is a subquery? A query in the where clause or a query in the selector clause, a query in the having clause is called as a subquery. So I shown you a query in the where clause now. So I can also write a query in the select itself, that we'll discuss later. In having also a query in the where or select or having, anywhere if you write one more query, that query is called as a subquery or a nested query or inner query. Now subquery execution is the bottom to top. First, subquery will get executed, then it is going to be substituting the data there, then it is going to be giving, or the later the outer query will get executed. So bottom to top is the execution. Always subquery gets executed first, and the result set is passed to the outer query, and then finally outer query is executed. Clear? So this is very, very important. Now use equals to operator when subquery returns a single value, single column. Use in operator when subquery returns a multiple values but single column. SQL Server does not support multiple columns in subquery. What is the meaning? You cannot write a star here. Star means multiple columns. Or you cannot write account ID, comma, name. These are two columns, right? Subquery cannot have more than one column. You can have a single column. For example, this is the column, single column, but you are going to get multiple values. Single column, multiple values. When you get multiple values, you have to use in operator. Okay, not in this case. In any other case, subquery may give you a single value. For example, if I say max of C balance, so this is giving me a single value. When the subquery is giving a single value, you must use equals to operator here. Okay. So in this case, we discussed it is working fine. But whatever be the reason, subquery is giving multiple values, but single column. Column is single. You are having multiple values. In that case, you must use in operator. Okay. So in many cases, it may give you multiple values also. Okay. If that is the case, you may use in, but you cannot have account ID, comma, C balance. So subquery cannot have more than one column. One column, one value, one column, multiple values is allowed, but not more than one column star. All of them are not allowed inside SQL Server. So that is what is the rule. Clear? We'll discuss a few more examples in tomorrow's class. So use equals to operator when the subquery returns a single value but single column. Use in operator when subquery returns multiple values but single column. SQL Server does not support multiple columns in a subquery. Oracle will support. SQL Server is not going to support. So it is very, very, very important interview question. Whenever you go to any interview, this question is asked without fail. Without fail, this question is asked. They'll tell you, find out who's the employee who's having maximum salary, highest salary. Find out the city where the sales is highest. Okay, like that. Or who's having minimum balance, who's having maximum balance, highest balance. So these kind of queries are asked. So compulsorily you must use subquery or nested query or inner query. Without that you are not allowed to write this query. However you try it, you will not be able to achieve it. So subquery is one more concept that you have to know. Tomorrow, we see one more subqueries. Subqueries are two types. One is normal subqueries. Second subquery is called as a correlated subquery. These are subqueries only. One is normal subquery, whatever we discussed. Now, tomorrow we're going to be discussing about correlation subqueries, and we'll see the difference between normal subqueries and correlation subqueries. Once that is over, then in Monday's class probably we'll discuss derivatives, and Tuesday and Wednesday we complete ranking functions and CTEs. Clear? So next week we'll complete queries, right? Clear? Queries is very, very important. You cannot underestimate. Start writing your queries without fail, guys. Thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions, you're welcome. People who are practicing will get a 5x faster, okay, than the other people. You can get easily jobs because it's a training where you need to fail, you need to practice more, right? So training field where you need to practice more, you may fail here, but after joining the company you cannot say I don't know this, I don't know that. People will throw you out. Clear? Training field where you need to train and do lot of mistakes. Thank you guys, bye bye.